Yeah, good evening, Israel. Shalom. Peace be unto you. Peace to all the kings and the queens of the earth. Praise be to the Most High Yah. Just give me 1 second. Alright, what's up, Israel? Let's go. Yeah, you now tuning in to Yah's Kyle, image of God, sent from God. Now, this is what's going on. I released a video a couple of days ago, and then I talked about how we are ancient Shemites. Even though we are Israel, we are ancient Shemites. So now what I'm about to do right now, like before I even go back into Shemites or go back into religion or go back from who came from where and then where they came from and who was created first, we're going to leave that alone. Right now, we're going to talk about this Corona-19 virus, right? Now let's go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the name, but before we look at the name, we're going to also look at Kobe Bryant name just as well, right? Whenever you see Kobe Bryant, right, Kobe represents like Jacob. At the end of the day, we all children of Yah. So of the strength that we are all children of Yah, we got one thing going on for us, that we have the Yah in front of our name. So now what I'm trying to bring forth to you is that since we all got the Yah in front of our name, his name would be like Yaakov, like Yaakov Aha, which is the way they call Yaakov in Egypt. So when you look at Kobe, right, he represented 24. 24 is like a biblical form of a holy trinity when it means 8, 8, 8. You know what I'm saying? That'll mean 4, 8, 16, 24, 3 8s. That'll be a triad, right? But then when you see him like from a basketball format, he had the number 8 and then he had the number 24. The number 8, he had 16,366 points, which means that he had 3 sixes in there. But then, you know what I'm saying, when he went to number 28, he topped it to 3 sixes with 3 numbered ones because he had 16,777 all in a grand total, right? So when the situation happened with Kobe, it said Kobe and 8 others. So when it say Kobe and 8 others, you know what I'm saying? And then he was on an airplane. An airplane is like a celestial boat. So Kobe, he's already in the heavens with the Creator. So it's like he's on a celestial boat, 1 and 8 others. That's no different than God protecting Noah, his wife, and then his 3 sons, and then they 3 wives. Because that will also make 8 people just as well, and then the celestial boat, right? So when you see that, the colors that they represent is yellow and purple, right? And then yellow and purple is like the colors of power. You know what I'm saying? Well, as far as the colors of power, where it represents like what we say Rome, right? So that's the colors. Purple and yellow is the colors of power. But then when you look at Colosseums is like forms of like what we had in the Athens. You know what I mean? When we was Greeks. So we was ancient Greeks at the time. So then we had Athens, and then we had Thebes just as well. Alexander came along, but then it had to be a shared thing because that was the time around the Dark Ages where, you know what I mean, the Medo-Persia surrounded the whole Egypt. So now, you know what I'm saying, what you got going on is that you got coliseums. They come from Rome. When that little incident happened in the NBA, it's like the definition of Rome, right? So it's a lot of money involved. Now, when you look at this Corona 19 virus, you would look and then you would see the emergence of the name Price and Harvest. So this is like a first shall be last and a last shall be first situation, but that means that when it's first shall be last and last shall be first, that mean that it happened before and it will happen again. So now when you read the Bible, you gotta look at the Bible and then you gotta see the definition of like Mercury. So when you see Mercury, you will see that Mercury is a planet. But then when you also look at it as mythology, Mercury will also be like a god. So when you look up the god Mercury, you will see that he's the god of the merchants, and then he's the god of the traveling, he's the god of the flying. You know what I'm saying? He's the god of commerce, he's the god of communication, and so on and so forth. When you look at the coronavirus, what you'll see is that the coronavirus is giving us the same situation. It ain't no commerce, it ain't no flying, it ain't no border passing, it ain't no communication, and then everybody is gone. So now what you would notice is it's not nobody's fault. It's not China's fault. It's not America's fault. It's nobody's fault. The only thing that might be a fault is that the wealth is supposed to be balanced out, because Mercury should never be mad. Mercury should never be mad to where it will, because if Mercury is mad at you, Mercury is supposed to take you to the underworld. So when you look at Mercury, you will see the word commerce come with Mercury. You will see the word merchant come. And then when you see all these words come with Mercury, you will realize that it's related to Mercury. So what we got to do is we got to all pray together. And then we have to have our Creator get rid of Mercury and then get him out of here. So then I said, we all pray together in unison, we could get me out of here. And if you think that I'm not telling the truth, you could just look up what Mercury is and then you will understand. So is we either got to do that, because it's none of their fault. It's like a spell. The spell got put out. I guess nobody know how to bring it back. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I'm only here to make sure that the people is all right and that the people is healed. So just look up Mercury, and then you know what I'm saying, look up and then you know what I'm saying, when you look up Mercury, you know what I'm saying, you will see the characteristics of Mercury. And then you know what I'm saying, that'll be our first step for praying to get rid of this coronavirus. I got a series of videos, and then the other videos that I have, they all will relate to this. So just stay in tune for all of my videos one by one, so that everything could fall into place. And then we're going to work together and we're going to pray together and get rid of this thing. Peace and blessings be to all of you.